Hello, welcome back to the bottom. My name is Beast, and I'm back with 99 episode 2. Say back, even though it's technically another game. But yeah, this is sadly the little sister route. Oh well. Also, this time when you open the game, it doesn't like... basically, it says like the name of the game with the nuts or whatever. This time it's like all of that, but with soda instead. Anyways, so yeah, new game. Turn on protagonist's voice. Yes. I'm not like Boss War. Still mildly funny to me that. Also, the R18 patch is installed. Doesn't mean that I have to turn on the H scene male voice now. Everyone has a few memories they hold especially dear. Things they can't forget. Things they mustn't forget. Goes without saying, but I have some too. Or at least I should have. And yet, they seem to have vanished. Why that is, I cannot say. But they've been scrubbed from my mind so thoroughly that I cannot begin to guess at what they may have been. All that remains is an incredible sense of unease. The fuck? Did she just Explorers of Sky herself? Explorers of Time herself? Ah, yes, I have. Yeah, instead, it's Sora Iro, Sora Uta, Sora Noto. There we fuck. I can't read. But yeah, did she like seriously fucking like Pokemon Mystery Dungeon herself? Yes, I don't care that I just technically spoiled the ending of the main, main quest, campaign quest thing. 21st of April. Yeah. I don't care that I just technically spoiled the ending of the main story of Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Time, Darkness, and Sky. But the game is so old at this point. If you haven't played it, it's your fault. It's a great game. It's got real fucking good music. It's a Pokemon game with an actual fucking story. Where the main character technically dies. The first Pokemon Mystery Dungeon has the main character chased out of his home. And just thrown out of his home, and having to fucking be on the run from those living in the village that he used to call his home, since they've been tricked into thinking that the various natural disasters are a result of him being turned into a Pokemon before being a human, and the world trying to rectify that mistake, and therefore slowly but surely, becoming unbalanced, and slowly but surely getting closer to the end of the world. So they decided, hey, if we need to prevent this, he needs to die. So they start fucking chasing you down with the intent of sacrificing you to save the world. This is not me posturing or bullshitting you. This is actually what fucking happens. I'm serious. It's fucking weird. Anyways, can I move this? No, I can't. Oh well. can I? I did. There you go. I actually can have the mic and the desktop audio on the same screen. Scarcely a month has passed since the new term began and I became a second year. And yet this has been perhaps the most eventful 15 days of my entire life. It all started at the festival. A while back, there was this anime called Mobius Ring, the cycle of reincarnation. The town I live in, Shiramatsugawa, helped sponsor it as a way of promoting tourism to the area. The show had some convoluted plot based off of locals' folklore. It left a big impression on a small group of dedicated fans, but most people regarded it as one of those oddball shows that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Well, it went down in anime history as a complete failure. It's unclear whether the bigwigs behind the regional sponsorship deal are clueless to the fact, or simply aren't willing to admit it. It's been 2 years since the anime aired, and so we had the second annual Mobius Festival, a ham-fisted attempt to get some mileage out of the anime despite the local residents' overwhelming opposition to going through the cringeworthy event a second time. Unfortunately, an earthquake happened right as things were getting started, putting an abrupt end to the festivities. To make matters worse, an earthquake shattered the namesake treasure of the shrine of the White Viper's relic, a location featured prominently in the anime, and also the site of the festival. As a result, a gate opened between our world and a parallel dimension. I wish I was joking, but no, that really happened. After that, we found a statue that turned out to be a petrified human. That was the start of my surreal half month. Next major incident was when one of the students from my school, Hoxing Academy, set the building ablaze using some strange power. During the fray, my classmate Miyako Kujo used some kind of superpower to extinguish the source of the flames. And if that all wasn't crazy enough, one of the residents of this parallel world, Sophitia, showed up at my house. After seeing so many crazy things, all I could do was believe the story she told me. It appeared all these incidents had been caused by a powerful object known as artifacts. They spilled into our world from Sophitia's, but they look like ordinary jewelry. They grant their wielders immense power, but also liable to drive them insane. Not even Sophitia knows how many artifacts have found their way into our world. We still haven't caught the murderer behind the petrification incidents, but there's a real possibility that other malicious users with no reservation about using their power might pop up. If that happens, there'll be even more innocent victims. Worse, if other villains appear, they might spur the user of the evil eye to commit even greater atrocities. I've teamed up with Kujo to catch the culprit, and our first course of action has been to look for trustworthy users to win over to our cause. I hate my nose. It's been fucking pissing me off all day, really. Pretty wild story, right?
頑張ろうね。この町を守るために。
It was just yesterday that I tried to show off to Kujo by offering my assistance. Seriously, the whole thing's so crazy that it feels like it came right out of an anime. If this were a TV show, Kujo would be the main character and I'd be the sidekick. Technically, I have an artifact as well, but I have no idea what it does or how to use it. In fact, I didn't even know I had one until Sophie told me. Theoretically, I should have an accessory of some kind too, but I haven't been able to find anything like that on my person. At any rate, I'm pretty much useless. Kujo's power, stealing an object and making it so its former owner doesn't even remember that it was theirs, is amazing. I can't do anything like that. Frankly speaking, I'm not sure I'll be any help at all. So I wondered, what can I even do? How can I help? That's why right now I'm looking for new comrades. I'm not prepared for this crazy life I've been thrust into. But I know the world's not gonna wait for me.
Hi, 連絡事項は以上。今日はこれで終わり。日直さん。
We stand and bow, singing the end of homeroom.
はい、お疲れ様。気をつけて帰るようにね。
She picks up her logbook and leaves the classroom. Now then.
かっけるくん、帰りましょう。
掃除だよ。
ああ、そうだった。
My friend Yuichi walks over and drops his bag on my desk. The two of us then head to the corner of the classroom where the supply closet is and pick up our brooms and walk out into the hallway.
めんどくさ。業者入れればいいのにね。
本当にな。
掃除のたびにこれ言ってる気がする。
実際めんどいしな。
I mean, it's got an argument.
さようなら。またね。
ああ、また。
バイバイ。
I stammer out a reply as Kujo walks past us to the hallway. Yuichi waves for a few seconds, then turns to me with a cold stare.
なんだよ。
Did I say wavers or waves? It says waves.
急に仲良くなってんだよな。昨日も二人で突っ込んでいったし。
昨日？ああ。
Hard to believe that whole thing with the fire was just a day ago. When it ended, the fire disappeared as quickly as it came, leaving the firefighters flummoxed. Chances are a good chunk of the school saw me and Kujo dashing into the heart of the fire just before it vanished. I guess I shouldn't be surprised that rumors are spreading about us now. Oh, this also explains all the weird stares I've been getting in class. That said, it seems like most of them don't have a bad impression of me, at least.
二人だけ呼び出されてたよね。先生に。
めっちゃ怒られた。死んだらどうすんだって。
妹いるんだよね、一年に。ソラちゃんだっけ？
そう。天って書いて空。
妹を助けるために火の海に飛び込んだわけだ。かっこいいね。そういうところにグッと来ちゃったのかな、九条さん。
なんだよ、グッドって。
いや、だから、勘ぐってるわけですよ、みんな。
みんな？
Whoops.
そう、みんな。
別に、あれだよ。俺一人暮らしだろ？
うん。
よくナインボールに飯食べに行くから。
ああ、九条さんがバイトしてるお店ね。うん。
それつながりだよ、それだけ。別に何もない。
ストーキングを続けた結果、仲良くなれた、と。
Right, to chop your head off.
ストーキングとか言うな。ナインボールに通ってたのは偶然だ、偶然。九条は関係ない。信じてないだろう。
Just tell them about how you didn't even know it was Kujo until like you've been there for like half a fucking year.
まあ、そういうことにしておいてあげようじゃないか。
くそ。
Uchi smirks. Honestly, I didn't even realize that it was Kujo working as a waitress at Nine Ball until recently. Like, I knew Kujo from class, but I hadn't connected her with the cute part-timer at the restaurant at all. The only reason we're talking more now is that I've gotten wrapped up in this whole thing with the artifacts. But it's not like I can tell Yoichi that. He'll think I'm insane.
そういえばさ、話変わるけど、
なんだよ。
昨日の火事で一気に持ってかれちゃったけど、あの石像の女の子、
ああ。
人間だったんでしょ？ただの石像じゃなくて。
ネットニュースでも断言はしてなかったが、ほぼそれで確定みたいな書き方してたな。
人が石になるってどんな病気？怖いよね。
病気ね。だといいんだが。
あれ？もしかして、信じてる口？
病気より化け物の方がなんとかなる気しないか？
怖いよ。あ、でも、ウイルスは目に見えないもんね。化け物なら見たら逃げられるけど。
逃げる暇があればいいけどな。
やだなあ、もう。怖いなあ。
掃除しようぜ。
はいはい。
A pair of girls on duty gives pointed glares, reminding us of our unfinished task. A monster, huh? Guess in a way, you could call this the work of a monster. They're a villain using the power of an artifact to commit murder. I need to hurry and find some allies. Right now, we've only got me and Kujo. Actually, since I can't do anything, for all intents and purposes, it's Kujo fighting alone. The monster's too much for her to handle by herself. Once we finish cleaning, I head straight home. Not much happened today. The only times I talked to Kujo were a quick good morning and then that farewell after school. We didn't talk at all about the artifacts or about how we were going to look for comrades. Though I guess it's not exactly the kind of thing we can talk about at school to begin with. What's our next move? We only just started, but I feel like we've already stalled out. Pull out my smartphone and flop down on the floor. I have Kujo's number now, so I should just consult her if I'm at a loss. But I don't have any female friends, so I always feel awkward when talking to a girl. Man, apathetic.
Huh?
The noise from the front door brings me to my feet. Maybe it's Kujo? Nah, no way. So it can only be... The door creaks open as I suspected. My sister pops her head in. Our eyes meet. For some reason she winks at me, then wriggles her way in through the half-open door. She already has her powers at that point. She then softly shuts the door behind her and tiptoes towards my bed. What does she think she's doing? She shrugs off her bag and falls onto my mattress. Damn brat, acting like she owns the place. I can't believe she's just ignoring me like this.
Oi. Oi. 無視すんな、おい。
Sora glances at me, then looks away. And she looks back at me in utter shock. Wow, she did a double take. I'm pretty sure she's not faking it. She's so surprised for. She barged in here on broad daylight. Did you really think I wasn't gonna notice? Yes. Surely she's not that dumb. Yes, she is.
いや、なんで？
なんでじゃねえよ。何勝手にお邪魔しますも言わずに入ってきてんだよ。てか、
Whoops.
見えてる？私のこと。
なんでじゃねえよ。何勝手にお邪魔しますも言わずに入ってきてんだよ。てか何人のベッドで普通にくつろいでんだよ。
Like, for those who don't know what the fuck that is, it's basically like a hand rest, a wrist rest. You just snap it onto the bottom of the to the keyboard and just type away at it. But it's just like, because of the way this is, it just feels like just chop something.
は？何その質問？は？
ちょっと待って、やり直しさせて。
何のだよ、帰れよ。
ちょっと待って、もう一回チャンスちょうだい、もう一回。
She rushes out of the door, not bothering to shut the door behind her. A few seconds later, Sora pokes her head through the tiny gap in the door once again. Like before, she slowly tiptoes her way over to my bed.
いやもういいよ。さっきから何してんだよ、お前。 だから何なんだよ。そりゃ見えるだろ。
見えるはずないの。
え、何？死んだの？例なの？
違くて。くそ、お父さんとお母さんには聞いたのに。
Grumbling to herself, sort of plucks down on my bed. Honestly, what the hell is she talking about? There is something nagging at me about what she said. How can you say me? It worked so well on Mom and Dad, too. Don't tell me she...
超能力に目覚めたとか言わないだろうな。
She gives me a triumphant grin. Holy shit! I was right!
あ、こいつバカだとか思ってます？いいんです、そんなこと思っちゃって後で恥かくことになりますよ。
なんか拾ったか？アクセサリーみたいな小物。
え？
Like, what? Like, what? Why do you know shit about this?
拾ったのか？
拾ったっていうか。
気づいたらそばにあったりするか？ポケットに入ってたりとか。
うん。なんで知ってるの？
マジかよ。
何？
まさかお前がアーティファクトユーザーになるなんて。
怖い。急に中二なこと言い出した怖い。何？何？
アーティファクトだ。お前が拾ったアクセサリー。
あれ？なんでそんな詳しい感じなの
Sighing, I pick up my smartphone. Okay, time to get over my embarrassment with talking to girls. Kujo needs to know about this.
ちょっと無視しないでよ。もっとこうさ、ニーニーにバカにされるの想定してたんだけど、なんであっさり信じてるの？私びっくり。
お前に紹介したい人がいる。
ちょっと待ってって。ニーニーが私をポカンとさせるのは想定外だから、ついていけてないから、まず私の話を聞け。
Like, things were not supposed to be this way. This was supposed to be the other way around. What is happening?
後でたっぷり聞いてやるよ。
I start up my chat application. I then fire off a message to Kujo. I found us a comrade. I take Sora with me to Nine Ball, where we all plan to meet. Kujo didn't have a shift today, so it seems she was already halfway home from school and is doubling back to meet us. Feel kinda bad for making her do that, but this isn't something we should put off.
ねえ、誰？紹介したい人って。っていうか何なの？ニーニーが妙に真剣で怖いんだけど。
もうちょっとだけ待ってろ。ちゃんと話すから。
I do my best to placate Sora. Still a little miffed she didn't get to surprise me like she wanted. And open the door. The bell on the door rings as we step inside. A waiter immediately walks up to us. He asks if we want a table for two, and I give him a non-committal reply as I scan the tables. Looks like Kujo's not here yet. I tell the waiter it's just the two of us, and he takes us to a table. I dither over whether we should sit next to each other, but in the end I decide it doesn't matter. We take our seats across from each other.
もう意味わからん。ニーヤンのおごりね。
いいぞ。好きなの頼め。
マジ？どうしよっかな。もうすぐご飯だしな。
あ、すみません。コーラ2つください。
As our waiter brings us a couple of glasses of water, I hurriedly place an order. While Sora's still stunned, the waiter nods and
好
walks
きなの
off.
って言ったじゃん。
俺のな。
クソ兄貴め。
嫌なら交換してやるから。
二つともコーラじゃねえか。
Sora snaps her menu closed and shoves it back into its folder. She then heaves an exaggerated sigh.
いつ来るの？紹介したい人は。
今着いたってさ。
I look down at the message Kuja sent me and type back, "Gotcha, we're waiting over by the wall." Kuja walks through the door the moment I turn around. Our eyes meet, then she heads to our table with a
ご
smile.
めんなさい。お待たせしました。
いや、こっちこそ急に呼んでごめん。
あれ、この人。
そら、こっち来い。
うん。
Sora gets up and moves to the seat next to me. Kuja then takes the seat Sora vacated.
コロナグループのだよね。 フェスの時コスプレしてた。
うん、そっか、フェスにいたもんね。昨日も会ってるけど。
昨日、あ、ニーニと一緒に助けに来てくれた。
改めまして、九条美也子です。
はい、ニーニの妹の空です。
The two of them bow awkwardly to each other. Sora can be pretty cheeky when she's with me, but she's shy around strangers. It's no surprise she's nervous. Just then, our sodas arrive, providing a break in the conversation. Kujo plays an order while Sora sips her soda to calm her nerves. After the waiter leaves, Sora bows to Kujo again.
昨日は、すみません。火事で、めちゃくちゃ動転しておりまして、ろくにお礼も言えず。
いえいえ、私は何もしてないから、お礼なら新見くんに。
火を消したのは九条だろ。
でも、新見くんがいなかったら、とてもできなかったから。あれは新見くんのおかげ。
いや、それは。まあいいや。ソラ。
はい。
そろそろ話が見えてきたんじゃないか？
いや、全然わかんねえな。
She's kind of slow in the uptake, eh? Though considering how crazy the truth is, I can't really fault her for not guessing. It took me some time to come to grips with it too.
仲間って、ソラちゃんのことだよね。
話を聞く限り、そうみたいだ。
まさかこんな身近にユーザーがいたなんて。
当てた。また。ユーザー？それ何？二人の造語？それとも世界共通の言葉？
わかった、説明する。九条、頼んでいいか？
Kujo's iced tea arrives. She pushes it away a bit without taking a sip and starts explaining. Just like she did for me, she takes her time, covering it all from beginning to end. She goes over artifacts and uses, and explains how the terms are all borrowed from Mobius Ring, the cycle of reincarnation. She then goes over how these artifacts came from a different world and aren't supposed to exist in ours. Next, she tells how all of these events match up with the plot of the Mobius Ring anime. She goes on to explain how there are multiple artifact users around, and that the petrification incident, as well as the fire, were both the work of users. She finishes by stating that she herself is one such user, and that she too has awoken to strange new powers. So his mouth hangs open in shock.
Wow.
Wow. Just...
Wow.
And then not a word more. She must be shocked. She must be shook.
私のアーティファクトはこれ。
Kujo fishes around in the pocket of her sweater and takes out a hair clip. She hesitantly puts it on the
能力
table.
は他人の所有物を奪うこと。
奪う。
実演したいけど、ここではごめんね。
Kujo puts the hair clip away with a pained smile. Kujo has a strong sense of justice, so she's rather concerned about her ability being the power to steal. She started to see her ability in a more positive light once she learned that she could steal others' artifacts, giving her the strength to face down criminals like the villain behind the petrification incident. But even so, she's still having trouble completely accepting her powers.
はあ。なるほど。やっと分かってきた。あの地震でっていうか、神社の宝物が壊れて超能力者が出現し、
Whoops.
そういう解釈でいいと思う。
すっげえ、前に見た海外ドラマみたい。すっげえ。
ソラちゃんもアーティファクトを持ってるんだよね。
あ、はい。私のは。
待って、
Kujo gently cuts off Sora and she starts digging through
出
her
さなくて
bag.
いいよ。大丈夫。
でもさっき見せてもらったし。
私みたいに奪える人がいるかもしれないから、自衛のために隠しておいた方がいいと思う。
ああ、なるほど。
Nodding, Sora closes her bag. Kujo makes a good point. I didn't even consider that there might be others out there with similar powers, but now that she brought up the possibility, I can see where it's a bad idea to just go around flaunting your
能
artifact.
力だけ聞いてもいいかな。
聞きますか？ついに聞いちゃいますか？
なんで見えるのとか言ってたよな。透明にでもなれるのか？
近い。すごく近い。
近い。どんな能力なの？
気配を殺せる。
ん？
気配を殺せます。
うん。
おい、顔に出てんぞ。しょぼって思ったでしょ？思ってるでしょ！
いやなんかピンとこなかった。
だから気配を殺すんですよ。気配を殺して存在感が薄くなることによって実質透明人間になれるんですよ。
実際に姿は消えないってこと？
I think I'm thinking about it. It's basically what the witches have in Sabrina the Witch when they are in their witch forms. They are extremely tough to notice. You'll only really be able to see them if you actively focus on them or accidentally run into them. But otherwise, but if you do focus on them or run into them, you can see them just fine.
消えない。でも気配がないから認識できないんすよ。ゼロだから。存在感皆無の空気だから。
もしかして俺ん家に来た時能力使ってた？
はい。
いや、めっちゃ見えてたけど。
だから本当は見えないはずだったの。なぜかニーヤンに聞かなかったの。
D&D joke. I just one of the main things that a beholder has is if I remember correctly, a cone of anti-magic. Hold on. Beholder! A large aberration, lawful evil. Armor class 18, natural armor. Hit points 189, 19d10s plus 76. Speed 0 feet, but 20 feet of flight. Hover. 10 strength, 14 dexterity, 18 con, 17 intelligence, 15 wisdom, and 17 charisma. Saving throws, intelligence plus 8, wisdom plus 7, charisma plus 8. Skills, perception plus 12. Condition immunities, prone. Senses, dark vision, 120 feet. Languages, deep speech, and undercommon. Challenge rating, 13, meaning that a party of 4 adventurers that are all level 13 should be able to take it on relatively well. And there, anti-magic cone. The beholder's central eye creates an area of anti-magic, as in the anti-magic field spell, in a 150-foot cone. At the start of each of its turn, the beholder decides which way the cone faces and whether the cone is active. The area works against the beholder's own eye rays. Actions: bite. Melee weapon attack. 15 to hit. Reach 5 feet. 1 to target. Hit 14. 14d6 piercing damage. 4d6 piercing damage. Eye rays. The beholder shoots 3 of the following magical eye rays at random. Reroll duplicates. Choosing 1 to 3 targets it can see within 120 feet of it. Charm ray. The targeted creature must make a DC 16 wisdom saving throw or be charmed by the beholder for 1 hour, or until the beholder harms the creature. Paralyzing beam. The targeted creature must succeed on a DC 16 constitution saving throw or be paralyzed for 1 minute. The target can repeat the saving throw at the end of each of its turn, ending the effect on itself on a success. Fear ray. The targeted creature must succeed on a DC 16 wisdom saving throw or be frightened for 1 minute. The target can repeat the saving throw at the end of each of its turn, and ending the effect on itself on a success. Slowing rate. A creature must make a DC must succeed on a DC 16 dexterity saving throw. On a failed save, the target's speed is halved for 1 minute. In addition, the creature can't take reactions, and it can take either an action or a bonus action on its turn, not both. The creature can repeat the saving throw at the end of its turn, ending the effect on itself on a success. Enervation ray. The targeted creature must make a DC 16 Constitution saving throw, taking a 36 or 8d8 necrotic damage on a failed save and half as much on a successful one. Telekinesis Ray. If the target is a creature, it must succeed on a DC 16 strength saving throw, or the beholder moves it up to 30 feet in any direction. It is restrained by the Ray's telekinetic grab until the start of the beholder's next turn, or until the beholder is incapacitated. If the target is an object weighing 300 pounds or less, that isn't being worn or carried, it is moved up to 30 feet in any direction. The beholder can also exert fine control on objects with this ray, such as manipulating a simple tool or opening a door or a container. Sleep Ray. The targeted creature must succeed on a DC 16 Wisdom saving throw or fall asleep and remain unconscious for 1 minute. The target awakens if it takes damage or another creature takes an action to wake it. This ray has no effect on constructs and undead. Petrification Ray. The targeted creature must make a DC 16 Dexterity saving throw. On a failed save, the creature begins to turn to stone and is restrained. It must repeat the saving throw at the end of its turn. On a success, the effect ends. On a failure, the creature is petrified until freed by the Greater Restoration spell or other magic. Disintegration Ray. The target is a creature, it must succeed on a DC 16 Dexterity saving throw or take 46 10d8 force damage. If this damage reduces the creature to 0 hit points, its body becomes a pile of fine gray dust. If the target is a large or smaller non-magical object or creation of magical force, it is disintegrated without a saving throw. If the target is a huge or larger object or creation of magical force, this ray disintegrates a 10-foot cube of it. And 10. Death Ray. The targeted creature must succeed on a DC 16 Dexterity saving throw or take 55 10d10 necrotic damage. The target dies if the ray reduces it to 0 hit points. Yeah. So yeah, beholders are nasty. Like, very, very nasty. The fuck? The fuck was that? Anyways.
ちょっとやってみろよ。今ここで。
いいよ、やってやんよ。
でもスティグマ出たらなんだろう、紋章みたいな。力使った時体に出ない？
出るの？そんなの。
そのはずなんだけど。
アーティファクトって手に入れたら使い方とかその他諸々がわかるんじゃないのか？
個人差があったりするのかな。新見くんのアーティファクトも何も教えてくれなかったみたいだし。
新見くんの？ニーニも超能力使えるの？
使えん。俺もユーザーらしいけど使えん。アーティファクトもどこにあるかわからん。
どういうことなのかな？
不明だ、不明、全部。
ただの嘘つきじゃねえか。
うるせえな。それも後で説明するから、今は見せろよ、お前の力を。
お、いいぜ、やってやんよ。
She pushes up her sleeves, though they fall back down right away, and frowns slightly as she begins concentrating. Let's see what you can do. Oh, great and powerful sister mine.
え、まだ？
は？もう使ってますけど。これはあれかな？二人とも見えてるパターンかな？
がっつり見えてるな。存在感バリバリだな。
Soda's head crashes down onto the table. She seems pretty shocked, but at least she still has the presence of mind to move her soda out of the way so she doesn't knock it over.
なんてた。能力使って部屋に忍び込んだのにニーに普通に気がつくし、なんで聞かないんだ。
本当に使えるんですか？
気の毒そうに言うのやめろ。使えるから本当にマジで。
でも
Oh, by the way, you know how I was trying to stream Utopia yesterday, and it didn't work out? well, I managed to fix it immediately this morning. Because turns out that while I set my recordings to be encoded using the graphics card, the stream wasn't using the graphics card as the encoder. It was using the CPU. So of course it was fucking destroying the CPU. Earlier today I tried to stream for like for a second, but after switching it to the graphics card, and it worked. Suddenly there was no buffering at all. At that point the only problem would be the internet connection. But that shouldn't be that big of a problem, since if it gets too bad I could just grab a better one. Anyways.
フォローしようとしてやっぱり言葉が見つからなかった感出すのもうやめて。なんなのもう。
でもソラちゃん、こんなに大声で話してるけど。
あ、ほらねえ、周りの人全然気にしてないでしょねえ。
まあ確かに。
There's a group of girls sitting at a table by the window, and a girl in a Kuho girl's uniform sitting in the corner eating a parfait. Parfait queen! And none of them are staring at us. For that matter, even the staff isn't looking our way. It seems like no one's even noticed Sora's shouting. Flaky as she seems, Sora's not the type to lie about things like this, and our earlier conversation practically confirmed she's a user, but...
やっぱピンとこねえな。
もうなんなんだよ。一番理解させたい人に効果出ないとか、なんか条件あるのかな。
アーティファクトは教えてくれなかったのか？
教えてくれないよそんなの。なんとなく使ってるよ。
そうなっちゃうよね。私も手探りで条件を調べてみたし。
俺みたいに何も教えてくれないケースもあるし、本当に個人差があるのかもな。
そうなのかも。とにかく能力の使用に制限や条件があるのは間違いないと思うから、多分今は満たせていないんだろうね、私たちに。
そう、気を使えないニーニが悪い。
なんでだよ。そこはお前の方で整えておけよ。
まだ力の使い方よくわかんないんだから仕方ないでしょ。何にもできないニーヤンよりマシだよ。
お、なんだやるか。
おお、いいぞこら、やったら。
ソラちゃん、今は使ってないよね。
あ、すみません。
ソラちゃん、今は使ってないよね。他のお客さんに迷惑になっちゃうから。
あ、すみません。
Sora meekly backs off. We joke around like this all the time, but I think Kuja believed we were actually arguing with each other. Her gaze splits back and forth between us. She tries to think of another topic to lighten the mood. After a few seconds, she turns to Sora with an apologetic
そういえ
smile.
ばごめんね。私、慣れ慣れしくソラちゃんって呼んじゃってて。
おいいっすいいっす。それしか呼び方ないだろうし。私は、下の名前、みやこでしたっけ？
うん、そう、九条みやこ。
じゃあ、みやこ先輩って呼ばせてください。
これからよろしくね、ソラちゃん。
I want more Miyako route.
よろしくっす、みやこ先輩。
Sora raises her glass in a toast. Kuja seems confused for a moment, but then she raises her glass as well, and the pair link them together. Certainly didn't expect Sora to be the first addition to our team. This week has just been a series of surprises. Oh wait, I haven't actually asked Sora if she wants to join us yet.
とにかくだ。お前の力についてはよくわかった。
ん？なんだおい、偉そうだな貴様。
まあ聞け、真剣な話。
うん。
俺たちは石化事件の犯人を止めるつもりだ。
ほう。
一番の目的はソフィーさんのお手伝い、アーティファクトの回収だね。
ソフィー、新キャラが出てきましたけど。
異世界の住人だ。
お？
後で詳しく話す。とにかく石化事件の犯人を捕まえることと他のアーティファクトの回収、それが俺たちの目的だ。異世界の住
危険なこともあるかもしれないけど、ソラちゃんよかったら
いいよ。
Whoops, fuck.
危険なこともあるかもしれないけど、ソラちゃん よかったら。
By the way, I probably won't be going for long today because I'm tired. Did not sleep well last night. Like, at first, I was like trying to fall asleep and suddenly I had fucking heartburn. So I took like some, like a pill that you're supposed to chew. I don't know what else to call it right now, which is supposed to help with heartburn. So I ate it, and immediately I felt sick to my stomach, causing me to not be able to sleep even more. So yeah, I barely slept, and I'm tired, and help. So yeah, I won't be going for long today. Anyways.
軽っ。
だって別に断る理由ないし。石化事件はぶっちゃけよくわかんないけど、あんな火事みたいなことがまた起こるかもしれないんでしょ。だったらやるよ。どういうわけか超能力に目覚めちゃったわけだし、なんていうか燃える展開。私今主人公っしょ。
Soda pumps her fist. She's surprisingly hyped about this. And while she looks like she's not taking things seriously, I know that's not the case. That fire yesterday gave her a real scare. Soda knows better than anybody just how terrifying artifacts can be. Soon she's giving the answer a good deal of thought. To tell the truth, I don't want to expose my sister to danger. Just got this hunch that she'll be alright no matter how dicey things get. But I can't really say why.
ってわけでするよ協力。手伝う。
ありがとう、ソラちゃん。
何にもできない誰かさんよりは役に立ちますよ。
I'm going to beat you over the head with a fucking baseball bat.
へいへい、頼りにしてます。
へっへっへ。お腹空いてきちゃった。なんか力使うとお腹減るんだよな。
あ、わかる。短時間使うだけでも意外と疲れるよね。
そうそう、マジックポイント消費してる感じある。
ちょっと早いけど夕飯食べてくか。せっかくだし。
おごり？
いいよ、おごってやる。
やった。
ああ、九条は家で食べるよな。
ええ、そうね。お家で。
じゃあ九条ほっといて食い始めるのもなんだし、出るか。
モック行こう、モック。
またかよ。
いいじゃん、こういう時しか食べらんないし、お母さん買ってきてくれないし。
そういえば、新見くんだけ一人暮らしなんだよね。
ああ、うん、そう。
ご実家で食事をとったりはしないの
1年の時はたまに帰ったりしてたけど、行き来がめんどくさくてな。くつろげる部屋もないし。
ニーニの部屋はこの私が乗っ取った。
ってわけで連休とかしか帰らない。
そっか。それだと、外食中止になっちゃうよね。
だな。じゃ、出るか。
ういー。
ああ、九条はまだここにいるか？
うん、私も帰る。
先外行ってて。会計済ませる。
お金。
いいよ、俺が払う。
でも。
いいからいいから。ここは兄貴にカッコつけさせてやってください。
じゃあ、ごちそうさまです。
ま、自分で稼いだお金じゃなくてお小遣いですけどね。だっせ。
うっせ。
Sling my bag over my shoulder and take the bill to the register. Kuju exchanges a few words with the co-workers, then she and Soda head out while I pay the bill.
モックだと駅前？
だな。
じゃあ駅まで一緒に。
みやこ先輩電車通学？
自転車だよ。あ、裏に止めてあるから先行ってて。すぐ追いつくから。
いいよ別に急いでないし。ね。
ああ、待ってる。
すぐ取ってくるね。
Kuju vanishes down the nearby alley. Soda waves her off. Then once Kuju's out of sight, she folds her arms and frowns to herself.
どうした？
やっと落ち着いたなーって思いましてね。
落ち着いた？逆だろ。いろいろ厄介事が降ってきて。
まあそうなんだけど、こう見えても動揺してたんだよね。わけわかんない火事とか、 わけわかんない超能力に突然目覚めたりとか。でもアーティファクトとかユーザーとかさ、わけわかんないことに名前をつけてもらって、やっとそういうもんかって思えたっていうか。ニーヤも同じって分かったし、みやこ先輩って友達、仲間もできたし、目的もできたし、不安っていうか、まあそういうのはなくなってきたかな。
結構気が小さいもんな、お前。
うっさいなあ、小さくないです。
なんかあってもお兄ちゃんが守ってやろうじゃないか。
うっさい、急に兄貴面すんな。
I try to pat her head, but she slaps my hand away. Where did you go, precious little sister who hugged me right after the fire? Well, she was already that needy. She was always that needy, it kind of creeped me out.
ごめんなさい。お待たせ。よ
Kucho reappears with her
かっ
bike.
たらカゴに荷物入れてね。
お、あざーす。
新見くんも。必要なかったね。
ああ、手ぶら。行くか。
へーい。
The two of us head towards the station. Sora and Kujo hit it off right away, and before long I start feeling left out of the conversation. Sora's so shy that it's rare to see her open up to someone like this only after a couple hours. Almost like mixed shy and rare there in such share. I just noticed that the fucking webcam was off. I admit being a bit hurt that they're totally ignoring me. But I don't have the guts to put it into a conversation between girls. In the end, we reached the station without me saying a word.
それじゃあ私はここで。
またね。
気をつけてな。
うん。
ん
Whoops.
ああ。じゃあね。
Ah!
じゃあね。また明日。
Kuja swallows whatever she was about to say and hops onto her bike. I don't know what she wanted to say. Though she didn't mention it, it probably wasn't too important.
きっとね、みやこ先輩こう言いたかったんだよ。
なんだよ。
ジャック空いてる。
え？
嘘だよ
おま、この野郎！
ーん。モック行くモック。ニーニのおごりで。
もうおごってやらねえ。お前がおごれ。
スマイルの分は私が払うよ。
0円じゃねえか。ほら行くぞ。
へーい。あ、ご飯ニーヤンと食べるってお母さんに電話しないと。
置いてくぞ。
あ、待ってよ
After eating dinner with Sora, I head back home. You know what, I'm ending the part here.
セーブ画面だよ。セーブするよ。セーブしたよ。
I don't know, I just feel exhausted today. Hope it gets better tomorrow. I hope you guys enjoyed this one and see you next time. Bye bye.